America, the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Greet your neighbor. Mr. President.
I did see it.
I see. I am.
I can hear today.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
It's so funny, it's fine. Yeah. Well, for me, thank you.
Our reflection today will be offered by Doug Drush.
I watch a lot of movies, probably too many. I thought it'd be fun to think of some prayers that are found in movies. Think of George Bailey's prayer of desperation. It's a Wonderful Life. It's, "Dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you hear me, show me the way, God. I'm at the end of my rope, and show me the way, God." For Esmeralda's prayer in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. "Yes, I know I'm just an outcast, and I shouldn't speak to you. Still, I see your face and wonder, were you once an outcast too? God help the outcast, hungry for birth. Show them the mercy they don't find on earth." Or young Jenny's prayer in the cornfield in Forrest Gump. "Dear God, make me a bird so I can fly far, far away from here." And Forrest lets us know that the prayer was answered. Mom always said, God is mysterious. He didn't turn Jenny into a bird that day. Instead, he had the police say Jenny didn't have to stay in that house no more. And finally, I took the question to the rabbi in Fiddler on the Roof. This is one of my favorites and maybe appropriate for these days. "Rabbi, is there a proper blessing for the Tsar?" To which the rabbi responds, "May God bless and keep the Tsar far away from us." Amen.
Thanks, Doug, and welcome, Rotarians. Yes, as before, we have a short video. I'd like to make an announcement. Last Saturday, several of us, including Kurt Denning and Ben from the city of Worcester, gathered to cut and assemble the parts for the bridge that will be going into Oak Hill Park on Saturday, August 16th. I asked the city if Rotary could be a part of this bridge assembly. We need only 8 volunteers from Rotary for 2 3-hour stretches or periods, starting at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. The work will consist of moving the wood that was cut on Saturday to the bridge location from a nearby trailer, assembling the bridge planking, and putting in place the protective netting that will keep the bridge safe. City workers will have secured the posts that will hold the bridge in place. As I mentioned in late June, this bridge could serve as yet another learning resource for Oak Hill Park by allowing students to observe amphibians in the wild. So on Saturday the 16th, which is 2 weeks from last Saturday, box lunches and water will be provided and a tent for shade. As part of our attempt to help make Rotary more interactive with its members, this should be a good, not too challenging project for those willing to help. So those sign-up sheets are on your tables. Volunteers would be greatly appreciated. And those sign-up sheets, as I said, are on your tables. We can have that.
Hi, my name is Jack, and I was an exchange student through Rotary in 1989, which was, I believe, 36 years ago. It was absolutely the best decision I ever made in my life, and I spent a year down there with 3 different families, met a lot of different exchange students from all over the world, and went on 2 different bus trips around the country. I was really, really fortunate, but I think Rotary has one of the best programs out there, and what they have to offer is beyond what some of the other places might have. But yeah, it was great, and our family also hosted numerous exchange students over the years, and some of them even came to my siblings' weddings. But basically, I loved it. It put what I call like the international travel bug in me. So ever since then, I just desire and need international travel as often as I can. but I recommend it to anyone that's interested. It is life-changing and well worth it. Something I will remember forever. Thank you.
Secretary and then the Secretary's report.
Thank you, President Allen. We are very fortunate today to be able to welcome a visiting Rotarian, Mary Graves. Mary is from the Rotary Club of Santa Rosa, California. So welcome. I know you've been here before. We always enjoy having you. Josie Weaver Krantz has a guest.
Yes. My guest today is Joe Morgan, an administrator with Orville Skilled Nursing and Rehabilitation.
Thank you. Welcome, Joe. Just one final announcement, there is a flyer on your tables that you can refer to if you have any questions. I know Brian Riley is here today and would be happy to answer those. Thank you.
Well, welcome to our guests. We hope you enjoyed today's program and the fellowship at Wooster Rotary. We hope to see you again at future meetings. I'm pleased to announce Matt Long, who will be introduce our speaker.
Thanks, President Allen. We're joined today by Amanda Leach, Senior Program Relations Specialist, and Chris McIntyre, Regional Program Partnership and Program Executive for the National Inventors Hall of Fame. Chris, specifically, who will be doing the presentation, oversees programs and partnerships in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, and very specifically, the Worcester and some of the Wayne County programs. Prior to joining the National Inventors Hall of Fame, Chris served as a senior district executive for the Buckeye Council, Scouting America, managing programs in Stark, Tuscarawas, and Carroll counties. Earlier in his career, Chris worked for D at Technographics here in Worcester, where he held a top secret security clearance and created maps for federal agencies. He holds a bachelor's degree in geology from the Ohio State University and is a proud Eagle Scout, where I've known Chris since our teens, doing lots of Order of the Arrow stuff back in the day. Chris and his wife Jamie live in Massillon with their son Archer. Warm Rotary welcome to Chris.
All right, good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. My name is Chris, and welcome for especially people that are on Zoom or recording. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, that's what that QR code does. I did put my card and like a company card on the table in case anybody's a visual person. Amanda is here with me today. She's my right-hand woman, and without her, I would be lost managing 3 states and 6 counties. Also, our Director of Development, Wendy, was supposed to be here today, but I wanted everybody to see their faces just so you're familiar. So here we have the Rotary's mission. Does anybody know it by heart? Anybody want to raise their hand and close their eyes and not look at the screen and recite it? Nobody? All right. And then you have the National Inventors Hall of Fame. Our mission is recognizing inventors and invention, and then being a catalyst really for that next generation of inventors. Here in the pictures, you can see our museum exhibits. It is now located in Alexandria, Virginia at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office campus. The USPTO is our founding partner. They helped us launch in 1973 here in Ohio, and they still support us both financially and in other ways because we really kind of intermesh our 2 missions. There's 3 groups that we really tend to focus on in our programming, and on the far right is our inductees. Our inductees are inventors from all over the country, and every year we highlight their ideas and their achievements in our induction ceremony in the spring. That takes place in Washington, D.C. The next group that we work with is the Collegiate Inventors Competition. This is a Shark Tank kind of go-to-market piece where these kids get together from colleges all over the country, and our inductees come and they're a panel for those kids that get to rub elbows, and they really help them launch their careers. And then last but not least, our kids and teachers. So every year when we induct inductees into the Inventors Hall of Fame, it's their ideas and stories that inspire a new curriculum every summer for summer programming, as well as in and out of school time programs. So this is a picture of the corporate headquarters right in North Canton, right up the hill from the old depot headquarters, about a mile away from the Akron Canton Airport. We have 75,000 plus square feet of warehouse space. We ship over 1 million boxes a year all over the country. We have about 250 local employees, just depending on the time of the year. So that is a resource right in your backyard. Matt got to come see the facility a couple weeks ago. Again, the inductee exhibit is a big piece in Washington, D.C. So as you talk to anybody that's going to D.C., it's a free museum right across the river there. Great for those middle school, field trips. And what you see here also is the wall of all the inductee names. I'm going to play a quick video so that you get a feel for the induction ceremony and how we honor our inductees.
To the new inductees, thank you for your creativity, your determination, and for everything that you have done to improve the lives of so many people. And to your family members, colleagues, and friends, thank you for supporting your inductee through the trials and tribulations that come with being an inventor. This gallery of icon honors you. It acts as a catalyst that prompts others to learn more about your legacies and the many ways you've left your mark on this world. Icon by icon, it represents the very real way that each of you adds to the strength of our nation and to the advancement of all humankind. The collective bond is further reinforced through you, the newest members of the National Inventors Hall of Fame. It is yet another way that you will help build a hopeful future for generations to come.
The inventions of America are extraordinary. We are the thinkers, the drivers. We are the holders of the intellectual property. It comes from us. It's our ingenuity that drives the world, and it's our inventors who are the visionaries who will build the foundation for the next generation of our country.
I hope our experience will encourage young inventors to trust their instincts and have the courage to persist even in the face of criticism. So thank you for recognizing me for my role today and for the chance to be here to celebrate innovation in America with all of you.
I'm very grateful for the prestigious recognition of the field of optical coherence tomography and its positive scientific, economic, and clinical benefits to society.
I'd like to thank the National Inventors Hall of Fame. It has been deeply gratifying to have been part of an initiative where science can create advances that benefit society.
I've had a career as an engineer, surgeon, professor, researcher, entrepreneur, and inventor. But creating invention has been the most exciting and satisfying part of these endeavors.
Thank you for this tremendous honor. Being inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame is humbling, especially considering the remarkable innovators who have come before me. Innovation is never a solitary endeavor. It's built on shared ideas, collective effort, and the courage to pursue what others might consider impossible. I stand here today because of all of you. Thank you.
It's a great honor for me to be included with my colleague Jason McClellan in front of all of you. It's humbling to be on a list with people like George Washington Carver and the many other innovators who have changed the way we live and communicate.
Our partnership shows what is possible when generosity of spirit meets shared purpose. I hope tonight's celebration will inspire all the young dreamers out there to keep inventing. Your ideas are needed to make a better future for everyone.
Well, it was pretty amazing. In fact, I was choking up and tearing up because I just didn't realize I was amongst such amazing inventors. I feel very humbled.
An inventor generally doesn't feel like the world's noticing, but tonight you feel like a rock star. So it's a special feeling. I mean, there's a lot of doubt, and when you're in the invention process, there's little years, even decades of doubt and despair, and really thinking maybe you're gonna go nowhere. And then suddenly you're a rock star. What's better feeling than that?
Want to exit out of the video, I'm so sorry. All right, so what I wanted to do really quick was go over some inductees that are Ohioans. So with an asterisk, and this is for you, Dee, Rob Bryant is a NASA chemist, and he obtained his master's from Akron, right? So he's a newer inductee, great guy. We'll see a quick video maybe from him. And then there's a couple other listed here, but I wanted to mention Helen Freed, who grew up in Youngstown, graduated from up there, and then earned her chemistry degree from here in Worcester, and was patented with self-testing glucose strips. So local, very local inductee for you guys. So here's a quick video from Rob. These are the mini documentaries.
Albinism manifests itself in many different ways. Bright lights bother me. I have monocular vision. My eyes have a difficult time keeping straight and focusing. I'm not part of the world visually. Teachers write on a blackboard, and that's fine for most people, but I couldn't see the blackboard. What I had to rely on was books. Being a NASA inventor, I've had to prove myself many times. I remember as a young scientist, I was standing in the hall, and a senior member criticized the work that I was doing and said, "Nobody cares about what you're doing." Cardiovascular disease is the largest killer, at least in this country. Pacemakers, of course, send electrical impulses. So if you have a good electric insulator, you can make a thinner insulation material. It also has to be biologically inert so that the human body doesn't attack it. Larkasi had all these qualities. And so because of Larkasi, they could redesign the pacemaker with the goal in mind that once you have the Medtronic pacemaker, it will probably outlive you.
Dr. Bryan has patience and kindness. He was very, very kind to actually sponsor me to work at NASA. He has something that's very unusual for engineers, which is the ability to explain complex subjects easier. And so he's a fantastic salesman. That's very difficult to find, and it's an art.
I think of myself in part as a business person. I believe an innovator believes in what they do, from invention to getting something into the marketplace. As the inventor of the material, I was the one that was responsible for helping promote the material. How can I take a material that was developed for high-performance aircraft and space applications? How can I get such a material into the general public?
Rob went out of his way to explain it to marketing people, business people. So his impact is to inspire people to do more than what they think they can do.
You never know where some material is going to end up. A Larkasi pacemaker has been inserted in upwards of, say, 700,000 people worldwide. And so you can imagine that all these people are not only alive, but are living better lives. And I'm very glad that it has ended up improving lives for people.
All right, two inductees that are also Rotarians, and they're honorable Rotarians. Orville Wright from Dayton, Also Thomas Edison in the New Jersey Rotary, but he spent some time here in Northeast Ohio. So as you saw, both from the inductee ceremony and then Rob's video, we highlight our inductees as superheroes because they definitely influence our lives and make things easier and sometimes more complicated with that technology, right? And from their values, then we have a full ecosystem of programs, curriculum, and training for teachers, and that they can then put on for students in schools. So you can see all of our programs here. Our cornerstone program is called Camp Invention. It's been around for 35 years and it was developed in Akron, Ohio, when we had the museum in downtown Akron, and it was a way to bring families into the museum. And then ultimately the teachers that helped us pilot that in the first couple of years said, hey, we want to do this in our classrooms. And now we are in all 50 states and Puerto Rico serving a bunch of kids annually, because I am bad at memorizing numbers. So that is why we have this slide here where you can see kind of a population of our camps and our saturation throughout the country. And obviously here in Ohio, since we're based here out of Ohio and it started here, you see the biggest chunk. I'm gonna skip this video because we've done enough of those. You know, a lot of people call our program STEM programs, but the term that I'm trying to teach you all about today is invention education, right? And it's that ability to adapt and solve those complex problems by coming up with an idea that's original, or coming up with an idea that is iteration of a current idea that makes it better. And like you heard Rob talk about his idea where it was originally designed for aircrafts, and finding that cross-pollination piece where it can be used in medical devices. You know, it's similar to that entrepreneurial path and that experience, or the Eagle Scout experience, where you have to plan a project and see it through. That invention education piece is a term that we're really coining. It really reveals the power of students' unique ideas and their passions. A lot of the teachers that we work with, they know their students, they know what they're comfortable with and what they're not. And when they run our programs, either out of school or in school or during the summer, they're not worried about standards as much and the testing and the grades. It's really just embracing the ideas that the kids have and pushing them through that invention education process. The I Can Invent mindset is our patented pedagogy. I have a poster in my office that's got about 32 different hexagons on it, but these are all themes, values, experiences that our inductees talk about whenever we do those mini documentaries on each of them for our class each year. Please feel free to go on YouTube or our website, invent.org. You have the whole inductee database that's available to you. And really for about the last 10 years, we've made videos similar to Rob's video, where that's a free resource that you could find or use. You know, innovation and the idea of knowing a problem and how to solve it. I've watched little kids come to Camp Invention on a Monday and cry because they didn't want to come to camp. And then on Friday, they're crying because they didn't want to leave. And it's rooted in that piece that innovation and ideas can change the world, and you don't have to have laser engraver or a 3D printer to make a prototype. They really have that confidence in sharing their ideas. They're timid in the beginning of the week, and then by the end of the week, they're going home and sharing ideas with their parents, their friends and family, and anybody that will listen. I have a 4.5-year-old that did Camp Invention for the first time at Walsh about 2 weeks ago, and he's a year shy of typically being a camper age, but he has been a little inventor for 2 weeks after camp. So now it's full circle for me of working here for 6 years. The creative problem solving piece and the real world approach is also just a huge piece that kids are not getting the same way anymore. And just 1 week of camp proves that they then start to imitate the inductees and the inventors that they learn about, and they identify specific problems in their community. And then obviously the science, math, and technology piece that's built in, they don't even realize that they're learning because of the immersive piece in our modules, which I'll show you here in a little bit. So another phrase that every child can invent, and again, 35 years of us doing this, we've seen that every child can come up with an idea and share their idea, and we have kids that have taken it full to market. The other big piece, and especially with the USPTO, is that intellectual property piece. Ultimately, you hear a lot of educators say that the jobs kids are gonna have in 20 years don't even exist yet, and that's because they're gonna be able to create their own jobs and their own ideas, their own companies, and they need to learn about intellectual property and how to protect their ideas. So now I want you to see what Camp Invention looks like.
What are we gonna do this summer? I don't know.
Discover where curiosity can lead when you register today for this summer's all-new Camp Invention, featuring Claw Arcade.
How do I grab the prize I want?
Discover how claw machines work by creating your very own, complete with one-of-a-kind prizes for an amazing arcade experience. Illusion Workshop.
Is this magic?
Uncover mesmerizing optical illusions in art, movies, theater, and animation. Then invent your own moving props to become a special effects expert. In Control.
How does it know where we're going?
Hop into the
D, this one right here, our education and curriculum team has markers that they put out every year when it's time for them to brainstorm new ideas. And every year I put, they need to learn about GIS and GPSs and how to use a map. And this year it finally came through with 6 years of me beating it into their heads. So this one's for you.
driver's seat for the ultimate road trip. You're in control with your own transmitter, custom dashboard, and travel map. Penguin Launch.
Why can't penguins fly?
Embark on an epic eco-expedition to Antarctica to investigate penguins and create planet-saving prototypes with the help of your robotic assistant.
We know what we're doing this summer.
Curious kids belong at Camp Invention. Don't miss out. Sign up now to discover an unforgettable summer.
All right, so there you got to see like our B2B and B2C marketing for parents, but we have over 3,000 camps across the country every summer, and the parents and kids eat up, and even the teachers eat up those new activities every year.
We're curious. Where curiosity claw.
So local partners that we have here, you can see those up on the screen. I oversee a 6-county area. I work with Summit, Stark, Wayne, Holmes, Tusk, and Carroll counties. But I wanted you all to see the impact that hopefully we're making in your community. The biggest number there is the second line at the bottom. You see Worcester City Schools, who's been successfully running camp for almost 20 years now. They serve about 315 kids every summer, usually at the high school. Sometimes it moves because of construction or other activities going on. So Matt also did come and see Camp Invention running in action. They do run 2 weeks back to back where they have about 150 kids for the first week and they do the activities, and then a different set of kids for the next week because it's the same activities, but we can also change it up, and we have that new curriculum every year where we have a back catalog of activities we could do multiple weeks. Ultimately too, I would always love any introductions to some potential partners for 2026 or 2027. So here's a couple on the left here that are very close to you. And then ultimately to some that, you know, kind of move out in some circles around the community here, if you have any connections. That is not for you guys. I thought I deleted that out. So there you go. I wanted to leave the last 5 to 10 minutes, as Matt let me know you love to ask questions. I just wanted to give you a brief overview of, again, who the National Inventors Hall of Fame is, who we serve, how we come and interact with your teachers and your kids to hopefully influence the next generation of inventors and innovators.
Thanks for coming. Is there a cost for the camp? And if so, do you have scholarships for kids who can't afford?
Yeah, that's a great question. So typically our standardized cost is about $285 for a week of camp. I know that's not honestly too bad for some other STEM camps around the country that are, I guess, competitors. And I pay $220 a week full-time for my kid to be in daycare. So to have him be able to do, you know, a full week of childcare plus those STEM activities, I do feel like is a great value. I manage about $1 million worth of scholarships. And when I say I manage those, I get to hand those out. So because I manage the 6 counties here around headquarters, we have a team of about 6 to 8 fundraisers that write grants. Last year, our organization brought in a total of $14 million to give out to schools and partners. And $1 million of that stays right here in the 6-county area. Does that answer that question? Worcester is currently fully funded.
Thank you for coming. To be qualified for your hall, do you have to be born in Ohio, or have your invention come from Ohio?
No, the only thing that you have to do is have a patent with the US Patent and Trademark Office here in America. And then you can go onto our website, and please do this. If you know anybody that has a patent, or if you have a patent, bug somebody that loves you to put your name in the hat. And we're trying to bring that process more out front, because I think sometimes people feel like it has to be the most prestigious invention ever, but there's some really cool unheard of inventions. Everybody's heard of them. They just don't even, the amount of patents that are in your cell phones, it's crazy how many different inductees that we have in the Hall of Fame that have, contributed to that then overarching thing that we carry around every day.
Second question.
Yeah.
By any chance, you have Kent Lee as an honoree at all? He's this person that in Worcester developed the sleep apnea program that you see the implants done. You see him on TV commercialized all the time.
I am not familiar with his name, but that doesn't mean that he's not in there. But you can easily go to invent.org, and there's the inductee database, and we can search that together if you want here after the meeting. And
thank you.
Yeah.
Chris, who established this National Inventors Hall of Fame?
Yeah, so that was started in partnership with the United States Patent and Trademark Office in 1973. I don't know the big names of the players that were involved with that, but one of the people that sat on our board for a long time, his nephew also joined Matt on a tour. Adam Briggs, his uncle was on our board for a long time. And I believe that Robert Briggs had a lot to do with the Hall of Fame Museum starting in and coming to Akron and being the home base for the National Inventors Hall of Fame. I did leave my card on each table, as well as one card for a camp invention discount. One of the things we try to do as a nonprofit is try to save on materials costs by planning our 2 years in advance and giving families a long time to save and to plan for camp. So I have more of my cards. I have more of the family and friends promo cards. So please come on up, and I'm gonna hang out for a while after the meeting if anybody wants to chat more. So thank you so much for allowing us to be here and to be the speaker and the guest. Appreciate it.
First, Amanda, and appreciate you for taking the time to present your program today. We would like to give you a symbol of the rotary wheel and on the back is the rotary 4-way test, produced for us by students from the Village Network. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next week will be Wayne County Music Concerts introduced by Andy Keel. If we have no other further, we stand adjourned. Yeah.